Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2683 of What You Up To Now. This is a spot where I document my journey, lessons learned, the good, the bad, the ugly, as I originally transitioned and moved from the brick-and-mortar corporate world of businesses, lots of different industries, to the online world of business, and just taking some of those businesses and some of those industries online, learning all kinds of different online techniques and strategies because there's such an economic advantage to having an online presence. Nowadays, I would contend that it is essential to have an online presence for your business. Unless you're strictly local and you don't want to grow, there is no reason not to have a bigger online presence or some online presence so local people can find you, because everybody's walking around with a cell phone these days, and when they want something, they look it up on their phone. The next generation, and I'm old, so it doesn't necessarily apply to me, but everybody else younger than me, for the most part, that has grown up with technology is automatically going to their phone. I remember back when I was still running my Italian food manufacturing business, I'd ask my kids a question and they would say, well, just Google that, you know what, S-H-I-T. So I actually have a sign on my office wall that said, Google that, and a picture of my daughter doing some snowboarding tricks, which was super funny. So today we are talking about, in this whole month, we're focusing on the area of contribution. I share a 9-part life framework, and one of the areas is contribution. It's one of the original 7 areas that I learned from Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn back in the 1980s. Yes, I am that old. And I've used that throughout my entire life, through my personal life as well as my businesses, to create the things that I want, to get the things that I want in life. Because the truth is, we can have whatever we want in life if we are willing to do what it takes to achieve and get those things. But first, we have to believe that we can. So with respect to contribution, this area is, I think, a little bit different than the other areas in that it's, how do we interact with the rest of the world? How do we show up in the world? And what impact do we have on the world? Are we being an example most of the time, or are we a warning most of the time? We get to choose, right? And the truth is, we're both some of the time. Sometimes we're an example, sometimes we're a warning. Today, our topic with respect to contribution is core values. What are your contribution core values? And I shared, I guess, 8 or 9 of mine in the Be a Better You Annual Challenge. And we talked about several in Supersize Your Business that have to do with our business's contribution. Guess what? The truth is, if you are contributing to the world around you and making the world a better place, that is a competitive advantage, because most of your competitors haven't even thought of it, much less taken action to build it into their culture, build it into their processes and systems and their being as an organization. That gives you a huge competitive advantage, because everybody wants to do business with businesses that make the world a better place. Think about your last interaction with your cell phone provider, for example. Now, they would contend that they're making the world a better place because they're allowing people to be connected, But just like anything else in technology, social media has its pluses and minuses. Cell phones have their pluses and minuses. Customer service has their pluses and minuses. But for the most part, they are not consciously deciding to make the world a better place, right? Because if they were, they'd be marketing some of that and sharing what they're actually doing in their culture. And you can tell through an organization's customer service and how they treat you as a customer, whether they really care about you or not, or are you just a number? They know that there's billions of people on the planet, and if you don't buy their cell phone, then somebody else will, or their cell phone service, someone else will. So I think that just from the practical standpoint with respect to our businesses and the positive impact it makes on our life, because guess what? Everything we give away comes back to us tenfold. If we give away positive things come back to us. If we give away negativity and negative things come back to us. And we get to choose every single day, every moment of every day, what we're going to put out there. What kind of energy are we putting into the world? That in and of itself has a huge impact on the quality of our life and the life of those around us. So think about your contribution core values today. And maybe if you're brave, share a couple of them in the comments below so that we can learn from one another. I am pretty open about mine. Make the world a better place. Be an example. Continuously improve. Be a lifelong learner. Leave people better than you found them. Things like that are inherent in my being. They're also inherent in my businesses, because I know the power of creating what we want in the world. All right. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.